Good afternoon, this is Will Faerber and I'm here with Frauke Murphy and we're continuing her lesson today. And this is, she's been working with this horse for about a month, getting it to stretch in the lunge line and doing the same thing on its back. So I wanted you to see how nicely she has developed since then. Beautiful, Frauke, right there. See if you can get her to stretch just a little deeper like that and add just a little more swing to the trot. Now when we look at Frauke, we can see that she has really nice leg position, but she needs to just stretch those shoulders back. But she'll get that over time. This is only her second or third lesson with me, so she'll start to begin to get those things straightened out as she gets the horse straightened out. Very nice, like that. Ask her to soften just a little bit more, get a little deeper stretch, and a little more trot. There you go, like that. Beautiful. Ask again. So every time she comes up, just be sure that when you're softening her a little bit, that you're not letting your shoulders come over with it. Got a little slow right there, so send her on just a little bit more. Add your leg first. There, like that, as you send her into the contact. And we can see that this horse, while it had many years of training, you can see the mouth is still quite busy. This is what we were talking about earlier. We're going to change the bit in the horse's mouth. And as she begins to begin to clear up. But right now, when she takes a little contact, you'll see sometimes she's opening her mouth and letting her tongue out a little bit and this sort of thing, because she's never really learned to accept contact. So we'll see that change. And you notice there's also no foam there in her mouth. She hasn't really started to just moisten her mouth, so to speak, and take a correct contact. But she will in a very short period of time, I'm very sure, the way this one is going so nicely. Just a little deeper into the stretch again, one more time. There you go, like that. Let it get a little bit longer. And if you compare this video to the one that we did a few weeks ago, and I'll put all these up on the same day so you'll see them all side by side, and you'll see that this horse is moving quite differently than it was 4 weeks ago. Very nice, Frauke. Just a little more active, get a little more swing in it, just a little more so she works a little more, and then soften her a little more, get her to stretch a little bit deeper into the contact. So soften her just a little bit. There you go, like that. There, so she seeks down and swings across her back. A little bit more active again. There, like that. Keep it going. Beautiful, beautiful. A little more active. Oh, she dropped her shoulders, and that's what we talked about a little earlier, is that Frauke, if she drops her shoulders, the horse will want to stop on her. So she needs to get her shoulders up and back a little more. That's not something she's going to be able to correct overnight. That's one of the other things that people make the mistake of thinking, that you can just put somebody on the back of a horse and tell them to change something. You know, technique over time, just like sitting down at the piano. Nobody can just sit there. You can sit there and look like a concert pianist, you know, but that doesn't mean you're going to be able to play like one. And very often people do the same thing with horses. They pose on their backs and we see what the horse is doing, and it's quite like an instrument out of tune. So if we get the horse in tune, what I usually find at the rider's positions, once they work towards that, they'll have to get the horse themselves in balance in order to get that happening. Now notice her head came up there a little bit. We're going to send her on a little bit more actively. There you go, back into that nicer stretch like that. A little bit again. She kind of came up a little bit. She's getting a little lazy there, so we want to send her on, get a little more active there like that, so she starts to swing over her back a little more. Beautiful. There's the working trot for the horse right there. Very nice. This is Will Faerber from Art to Ride with Frauke Murphy, and we'll catch up with them again later on. There's one more stretch. Let me get her into one kind of little hollow on you there one more time. There, get her back into the working trot. There we go. Correct it again. One more time, still want her a little deeper. There you go, before we ask her to walk. Keep going, not quite there yet. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Ask her again. There, that's getting more like it. There, very nice.